It's almost midnight. It is midnight, actually. Ooh, it's 1 a.m. Lord have mercy. Little brownie. Mm-mm-mm. No, they don't have anything extra special in them. They're just regular old brownies. Y'all stop being bad over there. Stop being bad. Let me see if I can ever since you gone away. Hey. Okay, so I'm trying to be a little quiet. You see this here? That's because I'm trying to be a little quiet. It's not really sitting right though. You know what I'm saying? Put it there. Maybe just let it hang. Let it hang, brother. Let it hang. Um, what to guan? This is Robert Anton, your singer, songwriter, actor, author, poet, signing in. And listen, I went to the beach today, so I was up very, 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 very early. I did laundry at like 6 in the morning, maybe 6:30. Then I packed my bag and went to the beach. I was out by 9:30, got there by 11:30, and was out there till about 3:30, 4 o'clock, right? Okay, so that's my day pretty much. But there was so much going on in between too. Um, on the way there, of course, I was reading and I did some writing, working on a fable that I've started that's in the African tradition, um, the African storytelling tradition. And oh my goodness, I got home and I knocked out. I was so tired that I laid down and went to sleep. And I was supposed to sleep for like an hour. No, I think I set my thing for like maybe 35 minutes. Naturally, I cut that off. That didn't work out. And I slept for 3 hours. So I'm up for a little while. Um, just had something to eat, some leftovers pretty much, because on my way home, I went to a place that I love called McBean's. I think they may have changed the name now. Next time I go by there, I need to take a picture of their marquee, because I think they've changed the name now, but it was called McBean's. And McBean's is like a Caribbean restaurant, and I usually get their jerk chicken or oxtail. So today I got oxtails, and they gave me a small one. It's like this, but it's like this. It's stacked up like this, right? And it was so good. I was eating on the train. Plus I got some mac and cheese, which had a little spice to it. It had like a little back bite to it, which I was interesting. I hadn't tasted that before. But it was good. I enjoyed it. But my internet is acting up. My internet is acting up, and I don't know why. But my internet is acting up. My internet is acting up, and I don't know why. Because it's the middle of the night and they call themselves fixing something. Maybe I don't know. But I'm gonna try to power through. Let me just see how it looks. And if I'm only in here 10, 15 minutes, then, because I'm not going to be too frustrated. I'm not going to be too frustrated. Not tonight. I'm actually going to, I have a few things I need to do. It's the middle of the night and they call themselves fixing something, maybe? I don't know. Okay, the sound is really good. The look is pretty good. I'm going to try to power through. Let me just see how it looks. I could get some light up in here, but I'm not going to do that because it looks fine. And it's late at night. Like, I don't want it to be too light and stuff like that because I'm just not feeling it. I wouldn't want to have no special brownies at this hour because they don't hit for about an hour, hour and a half. And hopefully I'll be going back to bed around 2 o'clock. Hopefully. I'm just going to have a little bit. I might have a little more. Hold on a minute. That's good. I feel like I ate a lot today, but mostly it was grapes and watermelon. Then I had tea that I made at home with honey. and I froze it, and then I froze some water. Oh, I did have some hummus for lunch. I called it lunch. What am I looking for? Me laptop. Me laptop. This is Hey, the Diamond Dance by Robert Anton. Me. I said, hey, hey, hey. Now, I'm not reading words. I'm just waiting for the laptop to come on. And you know, it has this like facial recognition stuff. I'm sitting right here and it's looking at me, but like it's not. Okay, you got me, I think. Maybe not. Please make sure it's you. Oh no, it says, please. I read that wrong. I thought it said, please make sure it's you. It said, making sure it's you. Who else would it be? Sometimes I don't trust facial recognition software and stuff like that, especially from far away, because my laptop be right here, right in front of me, and don't recognize me half the time. Okay? And it's just me and nobody else. Now, if this don't recognize me, how in the heck is some store thing that's never seen me before, never seen me? How is it gonna recognize me? I don't, especially from far away, bad lighting. I don't trust it. I really don't trust it. So they can literally just like pull you up from out of nowhere and be like, "Oh yes, the facial recognition software said that it was you." Yeah, but the one right in front of me, my own laptop, don't recognize me sometimes. So how the hell are you gonna tell me that's gonna be working perfectly? That's some. One thing I have learned is I keep on my location on my phone, so hopefully, if anything ever happens and I need an alibi, I'll have my phone to say, "Oh, he was not even in the area at the time," unless it lies on me. It might lie on me and be like, "Yeah, he was right in that area. I believe it was him." Or something happened and it happened in the area where I actually was, which is possible. There's all kind of crazy scenarios in this life where you could be trussed up and it ain't got nothing to do with you. Then they sending your behind off to the clank. And you're like, I'm innocent. I'm innocent. So is everybody else behind bars, buddy. So is everybody else. It's like, but no, I really am. Then 25 years later, they find out that you are innocent. Or never. You're just there until you aren't no longer alive. Hey, this is Robert Anton Music. I want to thank, I want to thank you. I want to thank, I want to thank you. Hey, you, yeah. Yeah. Always in a place where I should not be. wanting everyone to see my face. I wasn't even loving me. But now I found I got love in my heart. It's all because of you. I want to thank you. Hey, I want to thank you. Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm posting a response to somebody on Threads. Forgive me. Can't help myself. But it's like just informational. People be trying to bait me and stuff like that. But I try not to let it happen. Um, well, thank you. Just want to thank you. I just wanna. Man, I mean, I type relatively well. I did take it in high school. I was never like really fast or anything like that. But I mean, I don't have to look at every key in order to type. But sometimes I'm looking at the screen and I'm like, what the heck is that? Why? Especially on my phone, especially on the phone, because you know they be auto correcting and stuff and doing. But even like here on my laptop, I'm like, what the heck is what's going on? Like it's like I'm having a stroke or something because all the words are off or like I keep typing over and over and over and I keep getting the wrong words. It's like what the heck is going on? Am I having a stroke? I don't want to put that out in the universe. It's just funny to me. And not everything that's funny to me is funny to everybody. I realize that. I really do. Because I have a strange sense of humor. Kind of sarcastic. I would call it dark. Trump pedophiles are trending. There's just so many bots on Twitter and Threads, on YouTube and TikTok too. There's just so many of them, and like I just be blocking. I swear, if I don't, I'm probably not alive if I don't block at least a dozen accounts a day, and mostly because you can tell they're bots. Like they have 20 followers or let's say 200 followers, and they've got 700,000 posts. Like, who has that kind of time? How old? How old is Threads? How old is Threads? Let me see. How old is Threads? Come on, I'm just gonna give me this whole long thing, and I don't want to know all of that. All I want to know is how old is Threads? Is it a year or two old? Come on, July 2020. So it's 2 years old. 365. 365 days. Oh, let's do 300,000 posts. That's 100 a day. Like, who has time to do 100 posts a day? Bots. Nothing but bots. I'll be blocking left and right. And then if they're giving obvious fake facts that people have told them several times that, it's not true, but they keep posting it or something like that, blocked. I ain't got time for that. Because if you're over here lying, whether you're a bot or if you're a real person, and you're lying even though people have pointed out things and sent you back up proof information on the net, and you still posting the same thing, then you're lying. That's just fake news. Fake, fake news. Fake news. That's fake news. And I ain't got time for it. I don't even want that coming across my, even though it continues, because like you block 12 of them and 25 more of them come your way. But that's all right. I'm gonna keep blocking. I might have I might have no people to follow in a year or two, but that's all good and fine. That'll be better for my mental health. You know what I'm saying? Cause like this be ridiculous. I'm like, how in the heck there's so many friggin'. I think I did this already, right? I think I did this already. Pickleball pickup. I go to the site that's like it's like a things that are happening for free or inexpensive in New York City, and there's just lists. Lunchtime jazz in the park, watercolor in the park, outdoor concert with NPR featured vocalists, conversations with museum interns. There's just all these things, and I try to pick one or two for a day. And if I go, I go, and if I don't, I don't. But like they're on the calendar. I put them on my Google Calendar. So, if I decide to go, sometime I have like 5 or 6 of them. And next year I'm not going to make all of those. But it's like I feel like I have something to do, and I have, ideas for something to do, concepts of things to do for the day. If I have absolutely nothing to do, or if I don't want to do what I'm supposed to be doing. If I don't want to do what I'm supposed to be doing, I can be going to sunset yoga in the park, which I'm not going to do. But you never know. Eventually, I might. One good thing that I found on here, when I found this list, it's called Club Free Time, and it does cost. I think it's like $3 a month or something like that. And you have to. Well, what I have done, because after a month they will automatically renew you for a year. So I have on my calendar a few days before it's supposed to renew to cancel it, and then maybe I'll wait a few days, and then I'll renew it. Because I don't want to go. I don't want to have it for a year. I'll do a month to month. That's good for me. I don't want you charging me for a year for something I might not be using all year. But I was looking for soulful vocalist performs outdoor concert. Venetia Gould is a jazz vocalist, composer, band leader based in New York City, a graduate of Berkeley. See, that's 10 p.m. The Glade at Little Island Pier 55 at Hudson River Park. I might actually put that on my calendar for tomorrow, even though Thursday night at 10 p.m. I'm probably not going to do it. But again, if I don't do it, I don't do it. It doesn't make a big difference. But I was looking for, because I'm in a creative writing course or class. It's a workshop. So why is it not allowing me to put it on my calendar? Let me try again, Google Calendar. Changes you made may not be saved. It's not allowing me to put it on my calendar. Why? I don't understand that. Okay, maybe that'll work. So I was looking for some poetry workshops because I want to start, going. I had wanted to start going out, like listening to other people read, maybe reading some of my poetry, maybe taking some workshops to learn more forms and blah blah blah, and the other get more ideas. There are places like you can write out in nature or in old subway cars or maybe in cemeteries and stuff like that. So I want to do those type of things because there are, for those of you who believe in spirituality and that there's certain energy in different places. Maybe there's an energy somewhere that wants to tell me something or wants to get an idea out, and the only place you can get it is right there. Very woo woo. But yeah, I believe in that. So I started looking for these things and I found this club free time. And let me tell you, I have found so many poetry workshops, poetry slams, met some different people, poets and stuff like that through this club free time. And there's one that I'm going to regularly, even though they're off until September. The next one is September. That's quantum something poetry. There's also another one at MoMA that happens once a month. So I'm doing that, Museum of Modern Art. And I think it's an well, the one that last I went to was LGBT in June. I don't know what this one is going to be coming up, but I've already signed up for it and everything like that. It's this, it may be tomorrow. Let me see. Today is Wednesday. But like I found a lot of different ones and I've gone to several of them. Some of them I haven't. There's several that happen at the New York Public Library that I know about. And so like, I'm getting to go to all these different places. I actually read for the first time in a room full of, it was like 20 of us, but probably 7 of them were like poets. I mean, they've got our books and awards, and 2 or 3 of them were, professors, blah, blah, and the other. And I read my Juneteenth poem. I didn't read the whole thing. I just read a small excerpt. And one of the featured poets who was there, is a much older woman. She's about ready to retire um, from her teaching at whatever university or whatever. But she was very encouraging, and you could hear her when I was built. Yeah. And then afterwards, she was like, "Oh, I wanted to hear more. You should have read more." And I was like, "Yeah, it's not finished and it's not published, and I'm trying to figure out format, blah, blah, and the other. So I didn't want to read too much of it. Plus, they were live streaming, which I was lucky that they were live streaming because I got to, download it. I went straight home when I got home, I downloaded it. I found the live stream, downloaded my part, and posted it, of course, on my social medias. But like I got a chance to read, and it was my first time outside of my creative writing workshop where I read my poetry. So it's kind of exciting. And for people like that I didn't know, I had been there twice. That was my second time there. So like maybe 3 or 4 of the people I had met the month before, but most of them I didn't know. And I got to read for them. And like I said, some heavyweight poets were there. And they seemed to enjoy my excerpt from my poem, which was very, very encouraging to me. Yeah, so I'm hoping to do a lot more of that, reading out. And I've met a few people, that we've exchanged information and stuff like that. So, and that's all through this club free time and going to a few of these readings and stuff like that. So I'm very, very happy, very, very happy with that. And hopefully, if I don't keep this site for a really long time, hopefully by the time that like I'm not using it, I'll have half a dozen places to go to read, or I'll have met enough people where they'll be telling me about things. Because that's a big thing about networking. You just have to meet people who are kind of connected or who know what's going on, who can then let you know, what's going on, and then you let them know, all right. Sometimes even if I feel like somebody might know something that's happening, I might still text them anyway and be like, "Are you going to so and so and so? Or did you know about so and so and so?" Just to keep in the loop, so that they remember me when something's going on. And maybe I just sent them something and they know, "Oh, this is happening tonight. Oh, you want to go to so and so tonight? Have you heard about it?" And that's how networking is supposed to work. Or in a professional sense, when let's say I've got a poem that resonates in a certain, way, and someone hears it at a poetry reading, they're like, "Oh, so and so is doing an anthology, and your stuff would be perfect for it." Or so and so, whatever this place. What's up? What's going on, All the American? I don't know how long you've been down there, because I'll be talking and stuff. How's your day going today? My day has been great, or at least yesterday, because now we're into a new day. But I went to the beach, so it's always a great day when I go to the beach. But with the networking thing, part of it is like when you have a piece, you have a poem, when you have a story or something like that, and someone is either doing something themselves or they know of someone that's doing something. They've heard what you're doing, and they're like, that would be perfect for so and so and so. Uh, should I? You want their information? Boom, boom, boom. That's the best way, the easiest way, the most direct way to find the connection into, where you want to be. So, but you have to put yourself out there. You got to be, out there, and you got to be sharing information with people. You got to be letting them know things too. You got to be listening out, keeping your ear to the ground for them also, so that they're like, oh yeah, this guy helped me doing so and so and so. You might want to use him for, you know what I'm saying? And I've been pretty good at that as a singer. So I'm kind of, trying to make sure that I use that skill as a writer. No, don't you even worry about it. When I be talking on here, I know sometimes people don't even come in. And sometimes, there's people coming and going all the time. So I will be talking. You go ahead and comment. And then when I see it, I will definitely answer. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate your comments. Where you from? And sometimes when I'm on here talking about something, especially when I get excited and I'm talking about something, I know that I'm going to download it later on and post it up, as a piece of content on my social medias. Because a lot of times, I think for me, I've been doing this for 20 something years, social media. And, there are times when you have an idea and you set up and you do what you came to do, basically. There's a lot of times when you're just talking about stuff and you're excited about something, a subject, something that happened, and it's just a different feel because you're really into it and you're telling this story, blah, blah, blah. So it's a whole different feel. And it's, just something different from this, the setup, or something that you scripted or something that you just thought about or something like that. Phoenix, Arizona. What's up, Phoenix? I've been to Phoenix long ago in the 90s. I'm dating myself. In the 90s, I was on a tour. It was a children's theater tour. I forget which one because I did like 4 of them when I first came to New York. But we were like 30 days in Texas, but we also went to like Arkansas. We went to Phoenix. We went to, I think that's as far southwest as we went. Phoenix, Arizona. We may have gone to Santa Fe. We may have gone to Santa Fe, but we definitely went to Phoenix. So I've been all over. I've been all over the states. Not so much the northwest, but all over the northeast, the Midwest, the South, a lot of the Southwest. Yes, I'm a singer, songwriter, actor, author, poet. Um, I came to New York as a singer-songwriter, not as a singer-songwriter, dancer, actor, and I came to do musical theater because I went to high school and college for music. So, it's kind of just a way to break into the industry, start working, start doing jobs, start networking, start meeting people, and then try to figure out exactly what you want to do with your profession, with your life. And I'm a singer. I've always loved to be a singer. I'm a stand-up singer too. So, I started in church and that's always my passion. So now what I do is I sing. I sing with live bands. And we do mostly like corporate events, weddings, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, society parties, usually large events, 50 to 2,000 people. Um, yeah. So, and that's kind of my day job. Plus, I'm a singer-songwriter, so I do my own stuff. I have about 4 projects all over the interwebs. I have a bunch of original music here on YouTube. I have to think about where I am because I got like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So when I'm live streaming, I have to think, where am I right now? But yeah, that's what I do. And I am a content creator. And I create a lot of content. All right. So now I'm looking at readings because there's a few things that I want to see if I want to go to this weekend. And that's the 29th. So no, that's not it. Fairs, workshops, Friday, July 18th. Okay, poetry reading, poetry and music in the park. Enjoy a summer evening in the park with music and poetry, 7 to 8:30, with two poets and a musician, Rockefeller Park. See, I'm going to save that because I do have a Friday night party that I go to play cards because that's one of my hobbies, and it's also a good way to meet people. And it's something I like to do. If I can do it every week, if I can do it 2, 3, 4 times a week, I probably will. I play spades, I play bid whist, I play bridge. Of course, I play like tonk and I declare war. All that stuff did when I was a kid. I still know those games, but like now I play with friends and stuff. We play a little more structured games like spades or bid whist. Sometimes Uno, sometimes Cards Against Humanity. We have an adult game night. Arthur discusses. Hear poetry from award-winning writers Tuesday. So I'm going to save that. And these are all things that I might possibly do. I actually went to a reading not too long ago at Lincoln Center, which was very hoity-toity, right? But it was like so accessible. I wasn't blown away by everything I heard, but it was a lot of good stuff, a lot of good people, a lot of the three people who I heard read were very established, very accomplished. But it's just like just being in the room was amazing. And Lincoln Center. One day I'm going to read at Lincoln Center. I know I am. I've already performed. I've performed at Lincoln Center 4 times now, doing different productions. Author discusses her new feminist book on witches and horror films. Hear poetry from award-winning. So that must be every Tuesday. Poetry and music in the park must be every Friday. See, every Tuesday and Friday there's poetry reading going on. Now, I've been going to a few other poetry readings and poetry workshops. But here we go. See, there's one, August 15th, poetry open mic. That's what I need to be looking for. Open mics so that I can read. I'm going to add that to my calendar. That's in August. And like while I'm sitting here, might as well look through for the next few days. Photo-based creative writing section. What is photo-based? Thursday, July 17th. That's today, 2:30 to 3:30. What am I doing today? This is this is at the main library. So I might end up doing that. It's an hour in the middle of the day, but I might end up doing that. I don't know what a photo creative writing session is, but it's worth trying. It's a lot of sunset yoga, tai chi, zumba. I remember I was in Shanghai, I was in China, and we stayed at a hotel that was right across from this huge park. And every morning you could see people outside doing tai chi. So one day there was another YouTuber who I had been like kind of collaborating with on stuff like that. So he happened to be in the same hotel a few floors down from me. So we got together and we went over to the park, early in the morning, and we were filming some people dancing and stuff. They were doing line dancing. I joined in and did some line dancing with them. Some people were doing Tai Chi, people were walking. I mean, but it was all these people who were just so active, and a lot of older people. They were just so active, and it inspires me so much because I grew up with my great grandparents, my great grandma and my grandma, after my mom was gone when I was like 12, 13. So I moved out. I moved in with my great grandmother. First, I moved with my grandmother. Then that next summer, I moved in with my great grandmother and my grandmother on my mother's side, my maternal. So like they were always very active and something like that. And so like I've never worried about getting older or anything like that because like I saw these old people doing their thing all the time when I was growing up, going where they wanted to go, doing what they wanted to do, out at church, going to functions, dating. And I'm like, yo, old behind dating for? My grandma was 80 some years old dating somebody. I'm like, what the heck you dating somebody for? Like, so, but I was like, that's just very inspiring. So like that's how I am now. I'm very much like as a little older American, I'm a Gen X, 55. I'm very active. I'm like, I'm not gonna be sitting at home, doing nothing. I'm be going out, I'm be finding things to do, meeting new people, playing cards, working, learning new things. And that's the way that you stay at least cognizant. You don't stay young, but you stay cognizant. You stay active. You stay interested. You stay curious. I'll say all the time to people, stay curious. Always learn new things. Be willing to go into new spaces and meet new people. Do those things that make you uncomfortable, that you're like, oh, I don't know. Sometimes I have a plan maybe to do something like this from the workshops and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to know anybody. Am I going to, be uncomfortable? Fine, good. That's a good thing if I'm going to be uncomfortable, if I'm not going to know anybody, if I have to meet new people, if I have to put myself out there. That's great. That's the way that you stay active and interested, you know, and engaged in life. Because if you're sitting at home doing nothing, you wither away and die. That's the best way. That's the best way to wither away and die. Sitting at home, doing nothing, learning nothing new, meeting no new people. That's. And it's hard to meet people. And people say this all the time. As an adult, it's hard to meet people. It's hard to make friends the older you get. But that's because you don't put yourself out there. If nothing else, I play cards with several different groups and stuff like that. So there are always new people moving to New York City. There are always new people visiting New York. There are always new people at these card parties. And, so I'm always meeting new people. Some of them are associates. A lot of them are associates. But sometimes one becomes a friend or two become a friend. I actually was at a little dance party in New York City, and I saw someone. I didn't meet him at the dance parties. I didn't meet him at the card parties. I met him on the train and got his telephone number. But I invited him to the card parties. He started coming. Now he lives in DC. So, he visits here now and then because he has family here. But I saw him yesterday, Sunday, at the park. And we were out dancing and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, it's so crazy running into you here. Let us the other. But it's always meeting new people. And now I have this friend in DC, and we're Instagram friends right now. So we keep in touch with each other through Instagram. Kayaking with a view of Lower Manhattan. Tai Chi, catch and release fishing. I used to fish when I was a kid with my granddad. He had a boat. He always had a boat and an RV. So we used to fish as kids, and I did not like it. And I don't even eat fish. I'm allergic to seafood, so I don't even eat fish. A little shrimp sometimes. I did not like fishing. The little worms, putting the little worms on the. Oh my God! They should knew I was gay back then. Oh, put a little worm on the hook. Oh my God! It just skeeved me out. It would still be moving and stuff like that. Then you get the fish, and if you happen to get the fish and it come into the boat, it's flopping around. Oh my God! I did not like that at all. I did not like that at all. Are we still on? Okay, I have to make sure that. Let me tell you, I was talking for about 20 minutes one day with my little microphone and stuff like that, and it was off. So you couldn't hear nothing. So I'm moving around. Ain't nobody saying nothing in the chat. They just looking at me like I'm a fool, which I might be. But I'm like, y'all could have told me that like you didn't hear anything. You could have told me. You could have said something. Like, really? So I might have something to do tomorrow. And listen, I'm a performer, so I usually work at night. Like the last few weeks, I've had some daytime recording sessions. I'm recording, I was recording a character for a new musical, and his big song, I suppose. Um, they put together 4 songs for the package, and mine was the final song, playing the villain in the musical. And they played the other songs for me, and they were all very interesting, very musical theater, very sing talky, interesting, good music, a lot of story in a lot of the music. So it was enjoyable, but I went in and did my part. And then, they called me to do some revisions, and then they called me to do some more, and then they wanted to change some other stuff. So, it ended up being a little 2 or 3 weeks of work in the daytime. But because he was like, when he was like, oh, can you come in at 11? I was like, oh, can we make it 12? Like, can you make it 12, please? Like, really? And that's not a much big difference, but it's a little bit. It matters. That little extra hour of sleep or of prep time. Because, as a singer who especially sings mostly at night, I do gigs in the evenings generally. Getting up early in the morning and singing, I mean, I have to get up probably 6 hours before I'm supposed to sing. Because I have to work out, I have to warm up my vocals. I have to sing through a few things to make sure that I'm ready to produce and not just be like getting there warming up. I need to be warm when I hit, so that as soon as we start, it can be like, whatever you got to do, whatever you got to do. And then, oh, can you do so and so? Can you do this? I want that a little higher. Can you do this? Can you do that? And that is always it's strange that when you're especially in a recording session, you often feel like, why, what, you know, and that's the feeling, really. Uh, it's like you almost can't catch your bearings because they want so many different things at the same time. And sometimes they don't know what they want. They're just trying stuff out. So they're trying to get as much as they can on tape for their money, with you trying different things, and then they kind of patch them together and stuff like that. So like the very first time we did it, that's what happened. We do everything, patch them together, and then give it to the writers and stuff. And they, oh, I like this. Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah. What if we did this? And what if we did that? Oh, I want to. You're not on solid ground sometimes, but one thing that you can do is have your instrument prepared, have your body prepared, be ready just to roll with the punches. So that's why, for me, I have to get up several hours, 5, 6 hours before I'm going to perform, so that I know my voice is ready, that my energy is there, that I'm focused. I did some yoga to make sure my mind is focused, so that all I can do is I can like kind of be a vessel. You pour into me, you ask for what you need, and I give it, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, what do you think? What do you think? What does it matter what I think? You paying. Oh, I want you to take ownership. Listen, I'm taking ownership of this money. That's what I'm taking ownership of. Yo, I'm looking for some boy loves with a partner who has an inferiority complex. I'm sorry, you be in the wrong place, baby, because I'm very much assured, self-assured. What you be singing, brother? I be singing anything on the page, man. I really do. I started singing in church, in a gospel Pentecostal church. I studied music in high school and college. So learned classical music, chamber music, jazz quartets. Always still was in the gospel choir. Professionally, I've done musical theater. I've done gospel. I've done light opera. I've done just about everything. Right now, what I do with live bands is we do music. We do like dance music, but we do dance music from standards to contemporary hip hop. So like I do standards like Frank Sinatra, Nat King Cole. We do 50s music. We do Motown. We do disco. We do pop. We do R&B. We do hip hop. I do some raps, So whatever needs to be done, that's what I do. And I love it so much. I think I love it more than I actually love the musical theater. But it's like doing a big production is it's like you become a family, sometimes with infighting, sometimes with inbreeding, but you become a family because you rehearse over 2, 4, 6 weeks. If it's a small production, maybe just 9 days, 7, 9 days, you might rehearse, but you still become a unit. The whole reason to rehearse is so that you become a unit functioning together. Um, when you're singing with several different bands, it's not the same. You rehearse everything at home. You know your parts when you walk in, and then you just mesh with everybody else. So it's a different way, but I just love to stand up and sing and dance a lot, sing and move, sing and party. But like I've always loved to sing. It's my passion. Look over here in Fernasu. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. But yeah. So I do everything. Um, Not everything. I don't do hard metal. I don't really do punk. I could do some punk rock, but I'm not called on to do that kind of stuff. My voice is kind of smooth, so I tend to do more of that type of music. But whatever's called on for me, I learn and I do it. So if you go onto my page here and look for my cover songs, you'll find like some of the live band stuff that I've done. You'll also find a lot of covers that I've done, and some of them are things that I had to learn you know for a gig. So everything is content. So usually when I have to learn something for a gig, especially if I really really love it, if I end up kind of falling in love with it, which I try to do for everything, but it doesn't always happen. But like if I do, I definitely make a cover of it. But I also record a lot of my rehearsals so that I can see what's going on and hear what's going on. So I'll record them on my little digital camera to start. And then once I'm ready, I'll record them, video, and so that I can hear and watch what I'm doing. Um, and tweak things and fix things, and get my little looks and stuff together. Um, and if the recording comes out decently, then I'll post it. Why not? It's content. People want to see that type of thing sometimes, behind the scenes kind of. So I'll do that a lot of times. So a lot of those are here, either here in my cover channels, on my cover playlist, or on my cover channel, which is It's R Anton, ITSRANTON. I recently had to learn a song by Teddy Swims, The Door. And I had to go over to my piano. See my piano over there, my little keyboard. And I had to put it into my key because it's really, really high. I'm a bass baritone. It's definitely a first tenor song. So I had to put it into my key, so I can tell the band we do it in this key, or I do it in this key. So we will be doing it in this key. And I really, really like the song. I just love the way it moves. I love what it says. I love the way it feels, but it's also challenging for my voice. So I made several recordings of it. And then someone saw one of my rehearsals of it that I posted. And it's just me playing piano. And he liked it. So he's from Brazil and he wanted to do a collaboration because that's what he does on his page. He collaborates with people from all over the world. So he made the track for the song, and then I sang it, sent him my stuff, and then he made the video. He edited the video, and then we both posted it on our pages. I also posted a karaoke. He allowed me to post the karaoke of just the music for people who wanted to sing it in a different key, in a lower key. But that's the kind of thing that I do for my gigs, and then kind of bleed over into social media. You know what I'm saying? Just following myself around sometimes, taking photos. Even like when I go to the beach now, or whatever I do, I follow myself around and da da da. If I'm working, I'm following myself around a little bit, post up stuff that I have to do. Um, we do a lot of private events, that are posh events, and a lot of times either we can't record or they're not overjoyed about us recording, right? at least the owners of like these different bands, they record some stuff. You know what I'm saying? They don't necessarily want us to record it, right? Whatever, they're paying, so they set the terms. But a lot of times I record all of my gigs, at least digitally, with my digital. I record the sound so that I can listen back and see what happened, and if I know that something went wrong, I can go back and listen and see what went wrong. Then so next time that doesn't happen. um but also, like, now and then I'll be with a band leader who will allow you to record, or that wants you to record. Like, oh yeah, record that and send it to me. So, yeah, that went really well. Did you catch that as recording? Yeah, I got some of it. Okay, send that to me. Because we could add that to the package or something like that. Um, and I have one band leader who she's like one of my biggest supporters. She flew me down to Florida last year to do a gig with her. We usually have a gig at the beginning of the year every year for the last probably 10 years. And so she switched out with another band so that they would have somebody new and fresh. And then she had a gig down in Florida. And so she's like, can you come down here and do the gig? What's in the other, blah, blah, blah. So they flew me down. We did, like, it was a Motown themed gig. And so we did a bunch of Motown music, of course. And we were picking new songs and stuff like this. But she has her selfie stick with her. She be recording the whole, walking around. And she doesn't mind recording at all, me recording at all. And then her husband, a lot of times, will the whole time be recording. Now, I've asked for some files of some songs and never gotten them. So, again, that's the boss. They're paying, so they pretty much do what they want to do. So I don't worry too much about it. But yeah, I love what I do. If you can't tell, I love what I do. I love performing, and I love singing, and I also love writing. But we ain't gonna go into that. Let me see what else I have to do before it's almost 2:00. So I'm gonna get out of here in 7 minutes. It will be an hour. So I'm gonna get out of here in 7 minutes, and I still have to fold laundry. Don't judge me, but I had left some stuff. I folded some stuff and put some stuff away, but like, I wanted to get out to the beach, so I went ahead and left some stuff on the bed and packed my bags and went to the beach. I came back and I went to sleep. I moved the stuff to the side and put some stuff on wherever, and laid on the bed and went to sleep. So now I have to fold some stuff, and I have to make the bed before I can go to bed. And that I will be doing before I head back to bed. That's really the only thing. I'm also going to, what I've been doing before going to bed is creating a meme to post in the morning on my TikTok. So I'm going to do that probably before I do the folding, because after I do the folding, I think I'm going to fall into bed and hopefully knock out. For tomorrow is a new day. Let me see what the weather is going to be tomorrow. I believe it's going to be warm again. This is all Robert Anton original music playing in the background. Instrumentals of my music that you can get on all major and minor download services all over the world through CD Baby. So you can catch me on Tidal, you can catch me on Spotify, everybody, Apple Music, YouTube Music. Tomorrow it is going to be 93. I might go to a movie tomorrow. It doesn't look like it's going to rain. It's 20%, 15%, 35%. Oh, well, that's now. The wind was pretty high at the beach, which is good because there's a cooler wind. It's about to blow my darn umbrella over, though. And, of course, a few umbrellas did go flying. 93 tomorrow. Heat advisory. It was 90-something today. So tomorrow we will not be sitting at home, that's for sure. Um, do I need to do anything else right here? No. 5 minutes, 4 minutes. Shut you down. I had to shut you down. I'm charging my devices. I have so many devices, so many. 2 laptops, 2 iPads, 2 phones, a PC, even though the PC is dead now. Whew. My backup phone is very slow. It's mostly, I mostly use it as a clock and as an alarm. Oh, just want to thank you. Yeah. I love getting comments on my videos. I just love it. Sometimes it's better than getting a few thousand views and no comments. I see so many videos with a few thousand views and no comments. I'm like, what the heck? Do not like it. Do not like it. I actually have a video on Instagram, has 94,000 views, not one comment. Well, maybe one or two. Now, but like at first, it had no comments. So while it was flying, it had no comments. I'm like, what the heck? Why nobody commented? And he watched a good portion of the video and didn't comment. But it's 2 a.m., so I'm about to sign out. This is Robert Anton, robertanton.com, your singer, songwriter, actor, author, poet. Make sure to thumb this up if you have seen it later on. And comment, because I love comments. Let's talk. Let's chat. Let's chat down in the comments. All right, I'm out. Peace. How do you turn this thing off? There it is. There you go.